A very, very big welcome to all of you. I am now in Germany and I would like to dedicate this next reading to all the lunar and solar eclipses we've been passing through. And we know that this month, this beginning of the month, the summer, this Cancer energy has played a very strong effect on us. So I would like to just remind you again to look back at when we had first on the 5th of June, the lunar eclipse in Sagittarius, where we started to have an evolutionary leap, right? Why I'm doing this, coming back to these very specific points, is because these three planets are aligning, right? So we have the moon, we have the earth, and we have the sun. That creates a lunar eclipse, right? The sun shines onto the moon, otherwise we would not see the moon. The earth comes in between and creates the shadow on top of the moon, and that creates the lunar eclipse in Sagittarius. So Sagittarius, again, remember, was the forward bend, was this going deep within, which is the guardian angel, right? In the traditional tarot deck, it is the card of temperance. And temperance means I have to go within. I have to find, again, this middle connection between the dark and the light. Now remember, when I put you into an absolutely dark, pitch dark room, you do not see anything, not even your hand in front of your eyes. If I put you equally into a room that is bright, so bright, you do not see your hand in front of your eyes as well. So in the essence, the black and the light, or the white, are the same. You do not see anything with your two eyes. So here, this bowing down brings you into the equilibrium of the past and the future uniting in the present moment. And here we had the theme of making an evolutionary leap in your life, right? Making a step forward for all of humanity. So I'm just one more time showing you the card itself, right, that we had back then. So there you were planting a seed. How did that seed work out for you? Then we had on the 21st of June a solar eclipse. And a solar eclipse is when we have the earth, we have the moon, and then we have the sun, right? So the moon is moving between the earth and the sun. And thus we see from the earth perspective, the sun covered with the moon. And when the sun covers the moon, when the moon covers the sun, which is the only planet that can do that. And we can see how small the moon actually is because the sun is so far away. And the sun is huge, right? And the sun was covered by the moon, creating a solar eclipse. We didn't see it here in Europe, but in other places like Asia and India, they were able to see this almost 99%, right? It was a very strong one, solar eclipse in Cancer. And that was when we started to realize we are one. We are all together in this. We all have to figure this out, and we cannot leave one behind, because if we leave one behind, that means you leave yourself behind. And so here this position was the Ashwa Sanchalanasana, right? Taking ashwagandha to calm yourself down and to making or helping you to not go into the extreme stress, right? And to help you to focus and to align yourself through this position where you really need to use your third eye. And it's not about, oh, only the right or the left. It's about equal, otherwise I cannot use these wings. I cannot use anything. I cannot fulfill my life, because I need to use both wings if I want to fly, if I want to rise, right? That was the wings. If we have a mission greater than ourselves. And then we had on the 4th and 5th of July, we had another lunar eclipse, and that one was in Capricorn, where we rise above our karma, and there the position was the dancer pose. Here now I have the picture finally finished. Last time it was looking a little bit different, right? I had just the checkboards and the position, but here I decided to create Capricorn, the devil, again, something that wants to come into an equilibrium. We must find a place of, even though I am absolutely bright as that dancer pose in the middle of the city, and even though I have also the darkness within me, I am in nature. And I'm here on the asphalt or the darkness, the clouds. And here I am on the grass with the flowers and the sun with the universe above me, right? So we always have a constant play between absolute darkness and absolute brightness. And this was the lunar eclipse in Capricorn, where we started to rise above our karma. And karma is what we created ourselves. All the negativity, there is not really a devil. There's just out of balance. There is not you understanding that the darkness or that apparent negativity is the womb, is the earth, is that planting the seed. It's that fertile ground to actually make a difference. So here again are the 3 positions: bowing down, at the same time standing up, being strong, focused, the horse, the Cancer, and again dancing with it, dancing here, right? The dancer pose, finding an equilibrium, finding again this joy of being aware. Even though I go within, I go inside, and I go and reach for this higher purpose. I'm dancing, doing that. And now again, we are having a new moon in Cancer, where we again plant a seed in this very focused presence of the family, of the home, of the security, in opposition of Capricorn, Saturn in Capricorn, the dancer pose. Now these two play with each other. At one point I am here in this position, strong and focused, and I can step forward, right? The foot that is behind in high lounge steps up and comes into a dancer pose, which is a very difficult thing to do. And then stepping back again into high lounge, which is exactly what this wants or asks from us, right? We have the new moon in Cancer, opposite of Saturn in Capricorn. What does that mean? The new moon, this feminine, dark, right, fertile ground where we want to plant a seed of becoming safe and secure, nurturing each other, the family, the home, the social, soothing, calming energy that we want to bring to Saturn, where we learn it the hard way, in Capricorn, which is structure, order, discipline, laws, and to be respectful. And now doing this in a very loving and kindful way, being kind, being loving, how to transition between the two. I will do a sequence just about that. Okay, so reminding you to give yourself this nurturing energy, right? Nurturing energy, going deep in, going into the womb, going into the dark, so we can grow this beautiful lotus flower out of this inner equilibrium and be in the light, right? And do it respectfully towards yourself. And when you do it towards yourself, you can do it for others. Which is kind of like, I would like to say it as, say no, gently and kindly, but firmly, right? So once in a time, we need to say no, like a king, like a man that leads, right? Becoming your own leader, becoming your own, when we had the picture of Nelson Mandela and Mahatma Gandhi, becoming your own leader for your own tribe, right? Standing up and bringing it into the center, into the equilibrium, where the touch is between the positive and the negative. Again, where the dark and the light horse is uniting and creating the center, where the sun is, where lingam and yoni is, where new creation is happening, where we spread our wings. Every person matters, because you are all the people, the billions and billions of people that are existing right now in many various forms, right? And we have to understand that if something on the outside is creating a negativity in the inside, you have not yet found that absolute inner equilibrium, that absolute inner connection between the black and the white, the new moon and the full moon. Great. And now I'm going to each individual reading. Thank you for watching. Namaste. A big welcome to you, Aquarius, to this new moon in Cancer reading. I decided to change the way I do the reading. It's more like an oracle. I want to look into the 2 lunar eclipses and solar eclipses we've been passing, and they have been very intense, very shifting. And so now I would like to just look at it through the mystical shaman oracle and lay 4 cards, and then I get as well the, I just had a bird sitting on the window and looking inside. Said hello. Maybe you said hello, my dear Aquarius. You are air sign, right? They always think when it's a water bearer, it's a water sign, but it's not. You're an air sign. So maybe you just said hi and looked at me and said, oh, okay, you're doing the reading for me. Good. So, yeah, I saw I'm going to look at the lunar eclipse in Sagittarius. and then the solar eclipse in Cancer, and again the lunar eclipse in Capricorn. And then of course I will bring one card for the new moon that is happening in Cancer now on the 20th of July. Hi. So, the seer. For the first lunar eclipse, you got the seer, and that was the forward bend, remember? And when we bend forward and we go within, we truly see. And so 45, you got the number 9. I feel that you learned in that lunar eclipse in Sagittarius, in that temperance, that guardian angel that looks within, that comes from within. You found this vision, you found something very clearly shifting within you. And so we're going to look at 9. The number 9 is completion. And I'm going to just read the invitation for this card. The seer invites you to trust your intuition and follow it as it leads you forward. You may feel lost when it appears that your hunch is taking you in circles or even through a maze. But the hidden realms don't follow the rules of a two-dimensional map. Trust your gut and allow your perception of your circumstances to widen, to include the nuances and subtle cues that you normally miss if you take things at face value. The seer has gifted you with his magic. You're exactly where you are supposed to be. Your vision is clear. And that's exactly what happened on that Sagittarius lunar eclipse, right? A lunar eclipse is always when the earth moves between the sun and the moon. The sun shines on top of the moon, and this time the earth went right in between to cover it. Usually the earth is a little over, so we don't have that, right? And you got in these lunar eclipse this awareness, this moment of clarity, right? That vision that you are holding dear towards you. Then on the solar eclipse in Cancer, by the way, the message was the evolutionary leap, right? So you got a message for that evolutionary leap, right? And it shows because you very clearly connected. And I love how the painted face is so powerful, right? I really think that our makeup doesn't come close to what these people are doing to their faces, right? So then the solar eclipse in Cancer, you got thunder. And this thunder is more of an earth energy, like you see the buffalo running down there. It's a thunder of the earth is shaking, the earth is opening, the earth is saying, no more, no mas. I don't want to be treated like this anymore. And it's the number 11, 5 and 6, and that's a master number of a new beginning, of something very powerful coming to your life, right? And this is where we are deciding we are one, because as this buffalo is running together as one through the forest, and not really in the forest, through the grass. Invitation. When thunder comes into your reading, it refers to a big dramatic change that feels like a herd of wild bison on the run. You feel it right through your bones, and you know that you are powerless to influence whatever events have been set in motion. This is a time to be prepared for anything. Your life is an adventure, and wonderful opportunities are arriving now. The trick is to learn to run with them. Qualities that you'll need now more than ever are flexibility, dexterity, and a willingness to experience it all without dictating from where or in what form opportunities will come. Your destiny is arriving. Be ready. I think you know what I'm talking about. I think you know that this Cancer, we are one energy has made you realize that as one alone, he's very powerful, but when more come together, like the movement, right, of Black Lives Matters, and people stood up and said no more. They came together and then became a big one. Then the lunar eclipse in Capricorn, which is the devil, which I painted the dancer pose, right? So here you see the balance, the equilibrium that we have to bring to the modernization of life, to the technologies, to the advancement, to the growth. And here you got the ghost dancer. And the ghost dancer is a little bit in that gray zone. And most of the people think of the devil as something quite, they don't like to think of the devil as something real, right? And it doesn't really exist. This figure is like Pan, the Greek god Pan. Pandemic comes from that. So let me see what the ghost dance message is for you for the new moon in Cancer, the lunar eclipse in Capricorn. The invitation. The ancestors have a message of healing and powerful medicine to offer you. Create a sacred moment at your altar, light a candle to them, and let their wisdom infuse you. At this stage in your life, you are done repeating their tragic stories. Step into the abundance that is offered to you. Receive the gifts of those that have come before you, and write a new story for your life. And that's really these two together, right? Becoming aware. It really comes back again and again to the same thing. Become aware of the dualities. Become aware that you have any moment the power to change something. Good. And then for this new moon in Cancer, where the every person matters kind of brings us to the upper world. And the upper world are your guides, your angels, are uplifting you to a whole new dimension, are bringing you to a place like that bird that came to the window, right? You lift yourself up and out of all the dual thinking energy that is floating around right now, right? People are pointing fingers right and left, right? Like, you have to wear a mask. I don't want to wear a mask, right? It's like, you know, I mean, in the end, it's like, yes, I wear a mask when I go outside because I know I don't want to get a virus, even if it doesn't exist. It doesn't matter. And I don't feel something is taken away from me when I wear a mask. And then there are moments I don't wear a mask because I feel safe. I feel I'm with people and I hug them and I say, you know, give even French kiss. No big deal. I mean, I make the decisions, but in the outside world, when I go in a store, I put the mask on. I don't have a problem with it, right? When I go outside, I can take it off. So this is your invitation. The upper world is calling you to step into your fully realized self. Clear distractions so that you can move into a higher destiny. Do not fall to the temptation to craft a slightly more improved version of yourself. What you perceive as a problem or an obstacle is in fact the irritation you need to take the great leap. Remember, you cannot cross the Grand Canyon in 2 small steps. It's where we put the focus on, that's what we get. And you know, we have to see that there is always going to be an opposite energy, always. If you, even as a yogi, think you are in the most enlightened state of beingness and you are a holy person, like a holy lama, there are still people who will oppose you very clearly, oppose you completely, not believe in you at all. Like the Chinese, they don't believe in the Dalai Lama. What he's doing, nothing. He's not fighting them. He's not going and saying, oh my, how do you do this to me? All right, my dear Aquarius. So you got 2 cards, and one is the Queen of Air, which is a Libra, and the other one is the Messenger of Fire, which is Sagittarius, the Temperance, the Wand, the Fire, and here the Air, right? The air can blow energy to this idea, to this fire. She's the Queen of Air. She is very honest and clear and straight cut, and something that you really appreciate, my dear Aquarius, because you're the king of air, right? So here, this is a friend. This is someone in your life that helps you to spark your new idea, that brings something new to you, right? She supports you. And of course, the connection of the higher birds, the same feeling of the wings above her head, making her fly, making her bring down the energies. And these 2, seeing this awareness, seeing this new connection that you would like to create in your life, that you would like to bring. Seeing this vision, knowing, and now taking action. That's the horse that's going up, right? Here, these candles around her head, knowing that She has all that light, all that illumination. She has all those ideas. Or he, doesn't matter, right? Always exchange the male for female or the female for male. But very clearly the message is here. You know what you have to do. Beautiful, Aquarius. Just trust your instinct. Trust the vision that you got, right? Trust it. And as you can see, the thunder, this awakening is moving towards the seer. It's moving back. It's not moving forward into the future. It's moving back and supporting it. And of course, remember the ghost dance, something you want to move up, move away from this muddy, more darker energy, right? Having, of course, the light to reach out of that fog through the clear thinking. Maybe a person, like I said, like a Libra coming to you and helping you. I wish you a beautiful meditation, my dear Aquarius. Thank you for watching. Namaste.